Hey everyone, welcome to another top 10 list. Welcome to my top 10 most underrated movies of 2022. There was not a lot of underrated movies. There was more overrated than underrated. And all the movies I have on here aren't actually that slammed by critics. I feel like what I chose with these ones are very good movies that people acknowledge are pretty good movies, but no one cared about them and no one's talking about them. And when they came out, people just completely forgot about them. A lot of these movies, there's a few of these movies I think should be on people's best of the year lists, and no one they're like, oh, that movie. Or, what movie? Like, they're just completely forgettable films for a lot of people. And I don't get it. I think these movies deserve to be talked about a lot more. So, let's talk about it. Here are what I think are the underrated films of 2022. Number 10, Bullet Train. A lot of people had a lot of fun time with this movie. That was cool. The characters were cool. Some critics really had to stick up their asses with this one. Like, it's not a piece of art. It's just mindless guns and violence. Most unorthodox. I like it. I think it's a fun movie. I loved Brad Pitt, Aaron Taylor Johnson. I even liked, what's her name? Joey King. Joey King. All the characters were great. A lot of fun. Fun action scenes. It's samurais and assassins on a train. Sounds pretty cool, right? It is pretty awesome. It's pretty rad. David Leitch did a very good job with this movie. I had a lot of fun with it. I think it's gonna be a classic, and yeah, definitely check it out. Number 9, The Outfit. The Outfit is a movie no one talks about, and I feel like a lot of people didn't even get to see it. It's a really great movie with Mark Rylance and what's his name from American Assassin and Love and Monsters. That guy, that guy. You know that guy. It's a great movie about this guy. He makes suits for the mafia and everything, and this movie feels like a play because it all takes place in Mark Rylance's shop, and a son of a mafia boss gets killed, and he has to stash the body away, and he has to play both sides and stuff, and it's a really good dialogue movie and with some really riveting performances, and I just really enjoyed it. It felt like the movie Hitchcock's Rope. Kind of felt like something similar to that, and I thought it was really good. The acting was really good, the writing was really strong, and I think more people need to check it out. It's really good. Anyways, number 8, The Adam Project. I know a lot of people are getting very tired of Ryan Reynolds. I get it. His shtick can get a bit annoying and a little old and tiresome, but I really dug this movie, actually. I thought he was really good. I love that he wasn't just his typical funny, goofy self. He actually took the role pretty seriously. I love the dynamics between him and his younger self. I liked Mark Ruffalo in this movie. Some of the CGI is a little terrible, especially on some of the people. They're pretty bad. But I actually had fun with it. I liked the action. I liked the story. I like how the movie ends. And I love that it's a dynamic about a father-son relationship. And I don't know, something about it, I just really, really enjoyed it. Had a good time with it. I thought it was a good, lighthearted sci-fi action film. And a lot of people just didn't like it or just didn't seem to give a shit about it. Teach his own, I guess, but I dug it. Anyways, number 7, Death on the Nile. I actually like this movie. It's a little long. Some boring stuff. I think the first 20 minutes come in kind of trimmed down a bit. But believe it or not, I actually liked Murder on the Orient Express. The Kenneth Branagh Murder on the Orient Express. I don't think it's as good as the Sidney Lumet one, but I think it's still a good movie. And this Death on the Nile, again, is not as good as the original Death on the Nile, but I still think it's good. I, for the most part, liked most of the performances. I liked the twist. I know the twist because I've read the book and I've seen the original Death on the Nile, but it's still a good twist for people who have not seen the original. The cast is good. The production and cinematography, and just, I don't know, it kept my interest. A good murder mystery can keep my interest if the characters are interesting, the story setup is interesting, and just how it's laid out and stuff. I thought this was a lot more interesting than Glass Onion. A lot of people loved Glass Onion and didn't care for this one. I'm the opposite. I cared for this one and didn't care for the Glass Onion. I'm a fickle guy. Number 6, Terror on the Prairie. I know exactly why people don't like this movie. I don't need to say it. Everyone knows. Everyone knows. I liked it. I thought it was a cool Western movie. Like, Gina Carano did a fantastic job. For a very low-budget indie film, I thought it kicked a lot of ass. It gave me what I needed. So, yeah, I did a whole review of it just a few weeks ago. So, check that out. Number 5, Hustle. Adam Sandler as a sports agent. This movie was talked about when it came out. And then completely pushed to the side. I thought this movie would make a lot of people's top 10 best of the year and stuff, or at least honorable mentions. Nobody's talking about it. Everyone just really enjoyed it when it came out, and then just no one gave a fuck about it after a month or two. And it's a shame, because this is a very good film. Adam Sandler is spectacular in this movie. I think this is his second best performance in a movie. I think number 1 will always be Uncut Gems, but he is really good in this movie, and really likable, and I love that it goes more into the details and the dark underbelly world of the National Basketball Association, and I love that they got a lot of NBA coaches and stars and players and stuff. I thought it was fascinating, and I'm not a basketball guy, but I was really into this story, into the world, and into all the characters, so yeah, I dug Hustle. I think it's underrated. Number 4, Fall. I put this as my honorable mentions of the best of the year. I don't give a fuck. I know some people thought it was ridiculous. I loved it. I loved how intense it was. I loved that the movie's mostly just these 2 girls. And I love that they're troubled history and stuff. I love that the movie does a big 180 in the 3rd act. There's a lot of clever stuff and clever filmmaking in this movie. And I think it would have failed if I didn't care about the 2 lead girls. But I did. I thought they were both very enjoyable characters, and I wanted to see them both live in the end. I really dug it. I thought the way they filmed it when they're climbing up this tower, when you see it in on the AVX or an IMAX, it's shit your pants scary, man. If you're afraid of heights, you're in for a treat on this one. Number 3, Devotion. People loved this. I wouldn't say love. People really liked this movie. But I feel like people didn't like it as much as I did, because I'm the only one that put it on my best of the year. And no one else is talking about this movie now. It came out for a week. And then for that week, people were like, oh yeah, it was a good movie. It's a good movie. Then no one talks about it again. Most people are talking about All Quiet on the Western Front as the best war movie of the year. I disagree. I think All Quiet on the Western Front is a good movie. I think Devotion's better. I think Devotion has better characters. I think it has better cinematography, better music, better editing. I think it has a better pace to it. I just think it's a well-constructed film. I think it's a better constructed film and a better executed film than All Quiet on the Western Front. All Quiet on the Western Front really relies on its tone, its bleakness, and how it's all about the disturbingness and the brutality of war. And that's all it's trying to show you. Devotion is about the characters. It's about the situations. It's about trusting people. There's a lot of stuff in Devotion that's very fascinating. And I thought all the lead performances were really strong. And I thought this was a very good film. And I think more people need to watch this movie. Check it out. It's really good. Number 2 was my favorite movie of the year, Vengeance. I think this is a fantastic movie. I've praised this movie already enough. I just rewatched it just a couple days ago. I showed my sister it, and she's never seen it. And I'm like, this is my favorite movie of the year. Gotta check this one out. And she loved it. And I love it even more. I fucking love this movie. I love the characters. I'll say it again. This movie has an Ashton Kutcher performance that's good. You'll never see a movie when anyone will say that. Go see Vengeance. Number 1, though, is Bandit. The reason I have Bandit over Vengeance is a better movie. It's my favorite movie of the year, but Bandit is more underrated because nobody is talking about Bandit. Nobody's reviewed this movie apparently, and no one cares, and they should. It's a great movie. It's a great historical crime thriller, a Canadian one. Come on, represent Canada. Really great movie. Josh Duhamel, Mel Gibson. I think it's Alicia Cuthbert. Like, really good movie. Like, if you love good heist films, definitely check this one out. Like, it's up your alley. Like, trust me. It's about a guy who robs banks with no weapons. Like, that's great. And it's like a dark comedy, too. It's great. Check it out. Trust me. I know people didn't listen to me in my review. Listen to me now. Check it out. Most underrated film of the year. So yeah, that's my top 10 most underrated films of 2022. Let me know in the comments below, what are your guys' top 10 most underrated films of the year 2022. Merry Christmas. Join the dark side.